So with the election of 1912, we're going to have the Democrat-elected president, Woodrow Wilson, and Woodrow Wilson will kind of be the largest of the progressive parents or presidents as far as who contributes or who pushes the most progressive reforms, and also who expands the role of the federal government the largest. And just a few of the things that will expand under his time period will be the first national income tax, which again we talked about before with the populist movement. Will also be the 17th Amendment, the direct election of U.S. senators, the 18th Amendment, the outlaw of alcohol or prohibition. We mentioned that before with our social reform movements of the progressive era, and finally the 19th Amendment, women's suffrage. He's going to create the Clayton Antitrust Act, which protects workers' rights to strike, and also creates the Federal Trade Commission to monitor unfair business practices. He's also going to regulate the economy as far as the Fed. And we still have the Fed in place today, which adjusts the money supply and interest rates. It keeps basically money circulating. And the idea of it is to help keep the economy strong. Now we know that does not always work, but you have these different Federal Reserve banks. There's 12 of them throughout the country that flow money into commercial banks, which would give them money to people, the public, when they go for a loan, whether a mortgage, car loan, or whatever that might be. And the money keeps circulating through those processes. So this will be the first time that the federal government has had such a large role in the economy, and especially in the banking industry, especially since the last time with Martin Van Buren's presidency, we had the second national bank die out under the Democrat candidate, who was kind of a Jacksonian Democrat who did not like that idea. So we can see a huge shift in the way that politics have gone, where before, under Jackson's term, where the Democrats have been a small government, small laissez-faire system, to now with a progressive system here under Woodrow Wilson. So the progressive era, we really want to kind of categorize as a way of really expanding the role of the federal government and creating major changes throughout that. It'll be the first time under Teddy Roosevelt that government really works to regulate big business and try to cut them up and make them smaller or make them weaker, and we really break away from laissez-faire economics. We're going to see a push to try to make working and living conditions improve, whether through child labor laws or so forth, or on more state and local levels of government, certain things to help out with low-income housings. Women's suffrage will be first on state ballots, and then eventually for democracy for all the people, with the 19th Amendment being passed as well. And also, we kind of throw in there the idea that, under the progressive reforms of the conservationists, at the first time that the federal government sees the need to regulate and try to control, make sure that the environment is being taken care of. So the progressive era will last again for about 25 years, from the beginning of 1900 till right around the end of the 19-teens. However, we're going to see that the World War I outbreak in our next lesson, how World War I will bring an end to the progressive era. So guys, make sure to come back here with some questions on the progressive era. We'll go over this in class and then kind of move a little bit farther with it with some primary sources and all that good stuff. So again, make sure you have your questions ready, and I will see you in class.